everybody, in everywhere, human family. My name is Charo Verastegui. I am talking to you from Peru. And here we are, just to spend a moment for us. Just to be present in this magical moment that we are sharing now, even if we do not know each other, and we will never, maybe, will we know each other. But here we are, sharing the magic of the time, the magic of the space, and the magic of our willing to be here. So, we take a break and enjoy just to be ourselves. So we sit. I invite you to sit any place, maybe to lie down if you want. Maybe it's very good to put your spine cord very, very straight, but also relax. At the same time, our hands maybe are up on our thighs. Relax. And now we begin just to pay attention to our breath. Breathe in this magical connection of everywhere. Hold, natural holding, this perfection of living. And exhale on all the suffering goes with the exhale. All our tiredness, all dissolves in the space. And again we breathe. And it's so joy, this breathing, full of life, of possibility, full of iridescence, of the energy of the air going inside our body, shining from inside our body, charging energy in our body. We hold naturally without forcing it and feel how it irradiates our body, our mind. And then we exhale out and feel how the stress, all this sadness, tiredness, worries, anguish, all dissolve in the space, the generous space. And we repeat. Our breathing is natural, as when we smell a flower, a jasmine, for example, is soft, delicate, no forcing, smelling. All is natural. Now that we have our body relaxed, we begin to pay attention just our presence here. This is our place in the earth. This is where we belong. The place of the no place. The place of the totality. The place of the vastness of our open heart. We are the kings, we are the queens of this, our perfect world, when we have our kingdom, our royalty, the place when we don't need nothing, the place where we feel complete. We feel how we don't need to run after nothing, how we don't need to crave for nothing. We feel this secret place when all is full and empty at the same time, like a mirror, like the deepness of the mirror. This glory of possibilities, this glory of nothingness, that is totality, is inside us, and we feel it now. We discover and possess with no possession what belongs to us. This purity, this joy is always here with us. We just only need to pay attention, nothing more. We make a silence just to realize who is being aware of this perfection, who is this witness, who enjoy. What is enjoy? We make a silence. Now, we open our eyes and we look not so far away. We look at the middle of the space with our open eyes and just see, with no judge, just see the splendor of our sea vision. And suddenly we are opening our sense organs, sense faculties. Isn't it marvelous? And we hear maybe klaxon, maybe a bird singing. And we are the bird. We are the klaxon. Everything that sounds, it's our sound. And also our sense of feeling, of touch. Maybe we feel the air, the smell opens too, and we feel whatever arises is an ornament of our royalty in the perfection of our mandala of living. We just relax in this vastness, openness, in this vastness, awareness of just being there without craving, without asking, without rejecting, without waiting, without nothing, because we are full of words that the tongue cannot explain. This totality is beyond thoughts. And we are full of it. We are full of joy. And now we make a silence just to enjoy, to recognize or discover. Again, we pay attention to our breathing. And now we end just being thankful for the present that we give to us, we have gave us, to ourselves. And with this smile that naturally happens after being relaxed and full and empty at the same time, we are going to meet another people, another situation, another adventure. So that's life. And that's the end of this small practice of being aware. Bye-bye.
This is Darren Littlejohn. Welcome to the 12-Step Buddhist Podcast, episode 79, Shaman Meditation, with guest instructor from Peru, Charo. I'll leave her to pronounce the rest of her name. And continuing with Practices of a Bodhisattva, on number 36. Apologize in advance for any background wind. It's turbulent today. My energy is also turbulent. There is an excellent prayer about this. All days are virtuous, and all constellations positive. The Buddhas are mighty and powerful, and the Arhats have overcome impurity. Through reciting these words of truth, may everything always be well and positive for us. Jaya Jaya Sujaya. By reciting these words, it is said inauspicious days can be transformed into fortunate ones. So I don't know if it's an inauspicious day, but it's a day when I've spent most of the afternoon trying to make my computer do what it normally does without any problem. And you guys all know how that is. Just want to check in with you and let you know what's going on. We're doing the podcast every week. The listenership is going up. We have people from all over the world. And I don't have it open now, but I intend to bring it open and say hello to everyone from every country. Of course, the predominance is the U.S., but there's Canada, Australia, Africa, of course the UK, etc. So continuing with the practices of a bodhisattva, we're at the tail end here, which is basically a summary and a dedication. So number 36, in brief, wherever you are and whatever you do, always examine the state of your mind, cultivating mindfulness and awareness continuously to benefit others. In brief, wherever you are and whatever you do, always examine the state of your mind, cultivating mindfulness and awareness continuously to benefit others is the practice of a bodhisattva. This is in all moments. There are no moments that we are free from the responsibility, the commitment to be on the path and practice what we've been cultivating for however many, 37 episodes almost. We've been cultivating this and talking about it, and these aren't things that you pass through once. These are tenets and principles and practices that will be woven into our lifetime, into our consciousness stream, until we're fully manifested as the complete fruit of Buddhahood. So it is a commitment, and this is why in some practices you would say samaya or samaya ja or samaya ja, and that's we're saying keep the samaya that you made into the beings that made it, who were on the Bodhisattva path before and made all of these commitments, just as we will and do and have, and we're going to come due on our payment to the debt that we made when we dedicate the merits to all beings. We'll talk about dedication next week. For our summary, it's always examine the state of your mind. My teacher's main instruction, observe yourself. If we have no mindfulness practice, it's pretty hard to observe ourselves. If we have no Sangha, it's pretty hard to get the reflection back to us to show us where we're not seeing. Cultivating mindfulness and awareness continuously to benefit others. Cultivating mindfulness and awareness. Self-awareness and compassion, self-compassion, patience, diligence, morality, the seed of intention, compassion. To say, hey, I'm just like you. Hey, you're just like me. Everybody, all the beings feel pain. I'm sorry for that, and I want to do something about that. Is the practice of a bodhisattva. Drinking it away, shooting it up, smoking crack, doing meth, continuing your bullshit. I want to say something to some people that have contacted me over the past many years. A lot of people think, I'm going over there. There's a lot more options now than there were in 2009, but people still come to me with this. They're kind of drunk or they're half drunk, and they send me some bunch of emails or bunch of messages, or they start sending me pictures of things, and I don't know, and people, or they're really erratic, and I can tell the kind of behavior as somebody who's intoxicated. And I've never really engaged, and I refuse to engage with you if you're intoxicated, or if you're just super really early in recovery. I wish you well. Go into detox. Find your treatment. I can't do this for you. This is not something a podcast does. This isn't something a book does. This isn't something a Buddhist teacher does. This is something you do. You seek your treatment. Take responsibility. I don't know what to tell you other than you need to stop drinking and using if you want to stop drinking and using. Should I repeat that? I mean, it's totally up to you. It's not up to anyone else. And if you don't want to take responsibility, you're not going to cure. You're not going to heal. You're not going to grow. You're going to stay stifled in the repetitive cycle, the endless spiral. So I just want to say that. If people reach out, and I'm sorry, I can't. What can I do? You're drunk, I'm not talking to you. You have no clarity. What am I going to say? You need to go get clarity. You need to get clean. And you get some stability for a little bit. Don't try to do Buddhism and Dharma instead of recovery. Don't try to do anything instead of not drinking. Don't try to do dibble-dabble, a little bit here and a little bit there. I mean, well, if you're someone who's in a different space in the spectrum of addiction, you may be able to cut down, but I don't play games with that. It's being in the fire. I don't play games with addictive substances and addictive people. Unfortunately, I'm still addicted to my own sense of a concrete, inherently existent self, and my thoughts are really, really interesting to me, and I'm really trying to be on the Bodhisattva path where we abandon self in care of others. So this is helping me as much as it's helping you. Happy New Year. Grab a copy of Compassionate Recovery for a friend. Go up to Amazon and grab it. That's the best place. If you are morally obligated against Amazon for some reason, please go to your local independent bookseller and tell them they can get it from Ingram, from their main wholesale distributor. And if you're a clinician, I can get you a copy, usually. A few copies a month I can send out to clinicians. So I want to help you help people like me. People who, the people who we say, oh my God, they really wanted it. They're dead now? I mean, people die who we really love and we really, really want to support, and they come in and out and in and out and in and out. We just can't understand it, can we? Well, read Compassionate Recovery and you'll understand it. You'll understand it perfectly and crystal clear. And you'll never not understand it again. And you'll never make the same mistakes of judging and prejudging other people for where they could be or where they should be or why they just don't get it. Why they just don't get it. Because there are addicts. And just like there are addicts and people who are not addicts, and just like an addict can never explain why when their mother says, just don't drink, and if you get in trouble when you drink, honey, don't drink. They don't understand ever why we will say, yes, of course, and then drink. And just like they can't understand, a normie doesn't understand an addict, even sober a long time, and even Buddhist teachers that I've talked to and given my book and said, hey, listen, read it. Oh, yeah, well, I'm glad that should help some people. Oh, okay, this helps people that you know that have died. That if you could get them, get this information to them before you could prevent them from dying. You can prevent people from being suicidal, homicidal, and being toxic, and being, down on themselves and hating life. You can really prevent this if you're a teacher. If you call yourself a compassion teacher, I think you should understand this topic in detail, 440 pages, because if you're a yoga teacher, you should understand this. If you're a doctor, please understand this. You have to understand this. No one's told the story this way, and no one's given you the complete picture. If they had, I wouldn't have spent 4 years writing Compassionate Recovery. This is the story of my life, my recovery, my addiction, my spiritual development, taken out of context of me and applied to you in such a way with exercises, practices. There's a lot of things that you can do to help yourself, and I want to encourage you to do it. Take the 12-Step Buddhist as a landing pad, a launching pad. Get Compassionate Recovery, work it, bring it with you around. Work on it. Take time. All right, this message is going out because I don't want you to die, that's why. Those people who are trying to get sober, and those people who are trying to stay sober, get into this work, all right? Enough out of me this week. Next week, we'll wrap up the 37 practices of the Bodhisattva. I hope that you enjoyed Charo, and I hope that you enjoyed Igor. You can reach those guys. You can reach out to them. I'll get their email addresses up on the show notes. Go to podcast.compassionaterecovery.com for all the episodes. There's also a Buddhist insight into the 12 steps written by my friend Doug a dozen years ago and freely distributed. I noticed people were looking for that, so I went ahead and put it up there on podcast.compassionaterecovery.us. If you want to jump ahead to the next program, the next topic we're going to be involved with, that's transforming happiness, suffering, and happiness. And you can take a look at that on the website as well. Check your ACE score up there. See where you stand. I'm telling you, most of the people taking that on my site now are 4+. So I'm hearing you. I'm reaching you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me because I want to help you. All right, y'all. Like I said, peace out and namaste.